Hello? Can
What's
you
up,
hear me?
Darsh?
Hello, Darsh. How are
Can you
you?
hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me? Is the question.
Yes.
Bro,
yes.
I'm digging the sweatshirt. Digging
It's
the
from
sweatshirt.
San Francisco.
Repping the city right there. Thanks for coming and saving the day, you and Jonah, because Jared and Share Bear can't be here. But dude, we multiplied your thing, so we put you at 83 and 51 now. Because we just divided it by like winning percentage.
Okay.
And then
So where I'm at in terms of overall rankings.
all right. So Jared is destroying at 92 and 37.
All right, I got 10. All right, let's go.
92
10 point
37.
differential.
Jonah took a big lead because he went like 12 and 3, he went 11 and 3, including the Colts game because he picked the Colts. So he's at 84 and 50. Sheridan's 81 and 53, and your boy is in last place at 80 and 54.
All right,
So
I'm in the thick of it. Let's go.
It's a pretty freaking tight race, my guy.
That's dope.
Yes,
Dope.
it is. Okay, so since it's only us three, we can basically go through every game, but I start a few games that I think are going to be pretty interesting. So, like, obviously the Niners Saints, and then I did Packers Jags because of you, obviously, and then Bucs Panthers. I think is going to be an interesting game because I don't know. I feel that's a big NFC South matchup right there, and then Bills Cardinals is another big game, and then I think Bengals Steelers. I think Bengals could be a potential trap game for the Steelers because they didn't look too sexy against the Cowboys, huh? Yeah, I know,
dude. I think. I'm gonna let you finish up the intro.
No, yeah, and I was just not. Yeah, I don't know. Like the Steelers, didn't they only win by like one score?
Yeah, so it was crazy because the Steelers' defense is, this entire season, like if you look back through their entire season, right, they've played Jeff Driscoll on the Broncos, another game which they barely won against a backup. And then they played, obviously, the fourth stringer on Dallas, which they barely won. And then every other team that they played has been, a losing team, which means that they don't have a very good record so far. They've been struggling, whatever the reasons may be. So their 8-0 record, well, yeah, any team to be 8-0 at this point in the season, that should be applauded. That should be commended. But at the same time, it's like it goes back to like, okay, well, who have they faced and how have they won? Right. What has been with aside from a few turnovers by Minkah Fitzpatrick, like that game could have been decided and it could have completely swung the other way. But because of those turnovers, right, Minkah Fitzpatrick's one of the greatest defensive players, currently playing,
right,
and he just has an knack for finding the ball, and he created those turnovers. So. It could have easily gone the other way.
Facts, for sure. Yeah, I know. Really interesting. I don't know. The Steelers, I wasn't too hooked on them at the beginning of the season, but obviously they kept on winning. But I don't know. The Giants, they looked kind of good against them. And I think it was the opening season opener. And it's kind of stuck with me ever since. And I'm like, I don't know if the Steelers are it. I feel like there's so many freaking frauds. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I don't know about frauds. I don't know if frauds is like the right word to use. I think
it's touchy. Like the
league is a lot closer than it's further apart. You know what I mean? Like last year it was like, okay, there were two teams, kind of at the tippy top. Like,
yeah.
Well, actually, no, there were like four teams kind of at the tippy top. And then you had kind of like a ocean, like a Pacific Ocean difference between those teams and the rest of it. Like right. you had the Ravens and the Chiefs, right? They were putting up solid numbers, don't count in playoffs, but they were putting in solid numbers. And then on the NFC side, you have the Saints and the 49ers, like they were putting up ridiculous stats. Mm-hmm. The Niners were, aside from a few divisional games, and I think against the Ravens, but the Niners were literally destroying teams. They were blowing them out. It didn't matter who they faced. So, when you look at like the disparity of talent, right, I think the league has gotten a lot closer.
Yeah, there's
really a lot more people, a lot more teams that are, a lot more teams are closer in terms of talent and competitiveness.
Exactly, because you literally had, like you said, Ravens, Chiefs, and then the drop off from I think the Bills were probably one of the better teams, but obviously the Titans were there, but they weren't there like the entire season until basically the end. And so it was like the Titans, Texans, Bills was kind of that next tier of AFC teams, but this gap was crazy different. You know what I mean? Because no one was touching the Ravens last year. Like that's a fact. Like the only time you're going to beat the Ravens I think that the Ravens, their puzzle's starting to get figured out. Like,
well, Lamar Jackson came out this week and said that the opposing defensive players are literally calling our plays before they're calling the plays before the ball even gets snapped. Like,
I don't understand that.
They're switching their coverages. They might be throwing one thing, but then they immediately switch their coverages.
Right. But it's all about, as much as, you can know all you want, but at the end of the day, it comes down to Lamar Jackson and him executing. You know what I mean? Because if he's on, you could literally know whatever play they're calling. He's going to do something. He's going to, what's the word I'm trying to say? He's going to improvise. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, for sure. He's a beast. But so do you want to start out with the Jags Packers? Cause it's going to be kind of a fun game. I'm interested to see how the Packers, cause especially without Jair Alexander, he's questionable, right?
Yeah. He's doubtful.
He's doubtful with the concussion.
Yeah. Doubtful with concussion.
Because Jarek lit him up. Jarek getting lit him up on the sideline. Yes. But I'm interested to see how.
I think he came into that wrong. Like I think the angling on that was just off.
For sure. Yeah. Okay. So how's the Packers? How is their secondary going to do with kind of the firepower? How are they going to stop DJ Chark?
So I think Kevin King is going to be back for this game.
Okay.
He's been dealing with a hamstring issue, I think, this entire season.
Yeah.
And then it's really been nagging at him since like week 4 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Kevin King is supposed to be back. And I think game plan defensively is to do what they've been kind of, or at least game plan for the secondary. The plan is to just do what they've been doing. Josh Jackson has he's really stepped up on that team. We're going to be looking for Darnell Savage continue making his progress, and that dude's going. I'm really high on Darnell Savage. I think he's going to be an All-Pro one day. But I just think he needs that time to develop and really get there. I think this is really going to come down to. I feel like I say this every week, but for the Packers, I feel like it comes down to the run game, and if they can stop James Robinson, he's been on fire, literally. If Jay Gruden wasn't so committed to the passing game and exploring that, I think he should be pounding the ball every single play, just because he's a beast.
He can do what Dalvin Cook does if he has them
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. So I think it's going to come down to stopping the run. Jake Luton, he's a rookie quarterback. So I think
OSU.
The Packers, from OSU, exactly. Yeah.
Beavers.
So I think the Packers are going to have that advantage of going against a rookie quarterback on defensively, someone who's not going to have those checks and audibles that they might necessarily have, playing someone like Matt Ryan or, Drew Brees or someone or Tom Brady. Right. So I think this is going to be, I'm picking the Packers on this one. I'm picking, I'm going to go 38-24.
Okay. Yeah, that's a fair. I can definitely see the Jags putting up some numbers, but if the pass rush can get to Luton, because remember, I'm going to use this example all season. Remember the Dolphins getting to Gardner Minshew? They just check it down to Robinson all game. That's not going to work. You're going to have to push the ball down the field eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm going to go with. I want to go with the Packers so freaking bad, dude. But I honestly think that Ludy looked really good in his debut. Ludy looked good in his debut, dude. He's underrated. Especially at Oregon
He has one game under his belt, man.
Yeah, I know, but if I get their defense is kind of trash though, dude.
Yeah, we're ranked 31st, I think.
The Jags defense.
Oh, okay. Well, the Packers are ranked 31st against the run, so.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go with the Packers on this in a close one, like 30, 31, 27, I think. Jonah, who do you think is going to take this dub, bro?
Well, as much as I would love to pick Jake Luton in his second NFL start, I just think the Packers are the much better team. So I'll go Green Bay 34-21.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I don't know. I don't know if I should be like hyped about that or what, but I feel like if the Packers, if this game becomes like kind of contested, I think I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to be really, really disappointed. And if we lose,
I mean, they've got weapons. DJ Chark can stretch the field like a madman.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think I don't know. If we lose, then that's going to suck. But
I mean, how close? What's the Vikings? It's almost like a one-man race there. I mean, actually, the Bears are there kind of record-wise, but they're definitely slowing down for sure.
Well, it's because it's their offense that's trash. So,
dude, there was one meme of like the Chicago Bears like with the hat and the O was off, and they're like, this is like representative of like the entire Chicago Bears team because their offense literally cannot score points.
Oh! I think Kamal Martin is. I think he's back from the COVID list, but he's kind of nice though. I've seen him. Tackle a couple. Kamal Martin, he's only played like one game, and it was against the Vikings, and we absolutely got destroyed. But that second, like if you don't count that second half, that first half, like he was kind of nice though. Like he was everywhere. He was pretty much everywhere on the field. Like it was crazy. So I think I'm definitely going to be excited to see how he develops in the upcoming, couple games, most likely a couple years, I think. But he's kind of nice.
What position does he play?
He's a middle linebacker.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. One thing speaking of middle linebacker, I honestly think that obviously this is a topic we talk about every week, but if the Niners somehow trade away Jimmy Garoppolo, I think that they can use that money. That money will go to Fred Warner. I think that'd be a good investment because you're going to have to pay him eventually. I want him locked up for a long time. I don't want him going anywhere because against the Packers, it literally looked like he was the only one that gave a crap that game or tried. Because he was all over the field. And
I mean, yeah. If you're thinking of it like for this season, I'd say Fred Warner's definitely earned it. But I still think like you're going to be. I think if the Niners are going to spend their money towards anything, it's going to be on their pass rushers. You know what I mean? Dude,
watching Defoe actually do things against like the Titans was painful for me because Eric Armstead does absolutely zero things. And Javon Kinlaw, he's decent. He gets pressures, but I mean, besides that, we only have Kerry Harder and without Nick Bosa, man, it's a long. We've had like,
but Nick Bosa is going to be commanding a lot of money down the line.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're gonna have to lock him up for a while. Yeah. But yeah, do you see any potential landing spots like for JJ?
No, I just can't see that guy being anywhere outside of the Texans, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just don't see it happening, but
he was pretty mad in his press conference. Like he was adamant about the fact that he does not want to go through another rebuild.
Yeah. I don't know. I keep seeing the Packers name thrown up there. And I think honestly, any talented player that like
I could see it
has some sort of kind of issue, I feel like the Packers name just automatically gets thrown out there. I don't think the Packers
any defensive help is the Packers is just like an immediate.
Yeah, they were talking about like Quinnen Williams of the Jets. He's like a sophomore player. I don't know, junior player. I don't know.
Yeah,
but Quinnen Williams. They were talking about him and like the Jets were possibly looking to trade him. And then like I saw like going through my feed, I saw like 5 different posts about the Packers being interested in Quinnen Williams, and I was just like, oh my god. I mean, like I wouldn't pass it up, but I mean,
he's a good player. Yeah,
he's a solid player.
Yeah, he's really good. Him and Leonard Williams. I like Leonard Williams a lot too.
Yeah,
he wreaks havoc, dude. Okay. So we went through that. So we all agreed that the Packers might win a close one, but you'll be depressed if it's close.
Yeah, I think it should be 38-24.
Okay. Yeah.
But,
so
I'm gonna be really sad if it's a close one.
Another 5 touchdown pass game for Aaron.
Oh, is that Jared's bold prediction for the
week? Yeah, I know. 4 touchdown passes for sure. Yeah. Then next game that really I have to talk about, dude. Eagles and Giants. I think this can be a barn burner, bro. Jonah, what are your thoughts on the Eagles versus Giants? You know how I feel about Daniel Dimes, my guy.
Yeah, and I picked Daniel last week and it paid off. So it seems like if there was ever a time when the Giants were like putting together a good stretch of games, I feel like now is it. So I'm gonna trust the hot hand and I'm gonna pick New York again this week.
Let's freaking go. Let's go.
28-21.
Okay, I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
That's an NFC East game right there.
No, it is for sure. NFC East games, whenever it's either like 21-28 or it's like 17-24. That's what I think of
Yeah.
every time. And most of the points are scored in the fourth quarter. But bro, I'm telling
The entire rest, they got to wait for the defenses to kind of like lay off a little bit, be so tired.
Yeah, that's when their offense gets rolling.
That's when their offense starts clicking.
Yeah. Who do you think is going to come out with this? Because I've got a few things to say about the Giants. This is my second favorite team in the NFL.
Dude, I was looking at this, in terms of like playoffs. I talked to you about like doing like playoff predictions type thing.
Mhm.
But the Giants are a team that I see making the playoffs.
What if
They are
insane.
literally clicking at the right time, and the Eagles are sucking more than they have ever sucked. All right, the Cowboys suck. The Washington football still has no name.
They have the dub over the Washington.
Yeah, so
They just beat them.
I think it's very realistic for the Giants to actually make the playoffs this year. And
Facts.
I say it with like if like I had to put money on it, like I would be fairly confident in a bet I'd be fairly confident in a bet on the Giants making a playoff, to be honest with you.
Hear me out with this. I mean, did they look bad against the Bucs? No. How were they one or two picks away from maybe winning that game? Yes. Yes, they were. If Daniel Jones decides to just throw the ball out of bounds and they give him a little treat on the sideline when he does, like, just live to play another down, bro. Like, if he just makes good decisions, this is a baller football team. But I mean, I think Golden Tate is a little dinged up. But Sterling Shepard, he is always a little dinged up because he had turf toe. And Darius Slayton, bro, and Evan Ingram. And I'm loving the play they're getting out of Wayne Gallman for sure. And Devontae Freeman, I think he's out. He's still banged up or he's questionable. But Logan Ryan, Jabril Peppers, Blake Martinez is the commander. Like, he's the heart of that defense.
I'm so sad that the Packers let him go. Like, he was scapegoated. I've already said this, but
Yeah.
he was like blamed for a lot of the Packers defensive struggles when he shouldn't have been.
Mhm.
Yeah, I still blame it on Mike Pettin. I feel like a lot of other Packers fans out there still blame it on Mike Pettin, but it's like Blake Martinez was so good for us. And to see him like absolutely dominate with the Giants, like I'm honestly so happy for him. Like, it's so good to see him.
He's a grinder.
Because
He's like a guy you want him on your team. Like,
exactly.
Up, he's just so, you can just tell, like, he just loves, he's a middle linebacker. When you think of middle linebacker, you think of like a guy like Blake Martinez, bro. He's a beast. And I just really think you make a super good point. Like, they could easily make the playoffs. And I think if they do get there, they are not going to be an easy team to stomp through. It's all up to Danny Dimes. If Danny Dimes can consistently, because Jason Garrett, he was writing up some good plays, and Danny Dimes was missing just deep throws down the field, and they were one or two plays from making that Bucs game a completely different game. Like, I don't know. I think that they're a good football team, and you add Saquon in there next year, like, shoot.
Yeah, I know. So I'm just going off their schedule right here, right? So
it's
they got
promising too.
Yeah, they got the Eagles this year, or not this year, this week. Then they're on a bye, right?
Mhm.
And with the bye week, things could definitely shake up in the NFC East because, well, it's the NFC East, right? Then they come back, they go at Cincinnati, they go at Seattle, then they're against Arizona, they're against the Browns, then they're at Baltimore. And then so at Baltimore, and then they're against the Cowboys, right? So out of that, I think they're only going to be favored in that game against Dallas. I think the Cincinnati game is going to be close, but I think out of all those other games,
they're all winnable.
They're all winnable games, but they're only going to be favored in one of them. But I don't know what it is, but the way I saw them play against the Bucs, right? The way I saw them play against the Washington football team, against WFT, and like I 100% agree with you. Like they are like Danny Dimes is literally like one or two like fixes in terms of like
from being
if a mistake.
Elite.
Yeah, not from elite. I'm not going that far, bro. But I'm just saying that if he made a couple, a few, some like less mistakes, like a few less missed throws, or just like less interceptions overall, or took care of the ball better.
Yeah,
for like those types of things where it's like, okay, that's going to come, but the question is whether or not it could come after, whether or not it could come after a bye week. And I could totally see it happening. I think after the Eagles game, Jason Garrett on the bye week is going to take a long look at all that film with Danny Jones, and Danny Jones is going to actually he's going to come back and he's going to have a way better handle of that offense and a way better handle of just what he should be doing as a QB in terms of managing the ball, taking control of it, taking care of it.
Yeah, for sure, dude. He, I think, aren't the Eagles coming off a bye?
Mm-hmm.
Are they getting Miles Sanders back?
Let me double check.
I don't know, but I'm really digging this Giants football team. I think they're going to be here. They're going to be here to stay. Like, I think that they're going to become.
Miles Sanders. They're on track to get Miles Sanders back, as well as Alshon Jeffrey.
That's a big one, but I have trust in the New York football.
I mean, so the Giants are bottom of the division. They're 2-7. The Eagles are at the top of their division at 3-4-1. That's only that's only a difference of a couple games. They get the win. They get the win this week against the Eagles, and then everything else can basically just fall together because the Eagles have to go against. They also have to run the table in order to. Well, I mean, they're already pretty much in the playoffs, but they have to run the table because they go against Seattle, Green Bay, and then New Orleans back to back to back.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's tough. So it's definitely possible for the Giants.
But I like it. So you're gonna go with the Giants this week? I'm
gonna go with the Giants this week,
even with the Eagles coming off the bye.
Even with the Eagles coming off the bye, and even with the Eagles healthier, I'm gonna pick the Giants, and I think the game's gonna be super tight. I think it's gonna be 24-21.
Mm-hmm. I think they played Thursday Night Football earlier in the year, and it was a good game.
Yeah.
It was when Carson did that touchdown pass to Boston Scott at the end of the game. But, dude, Sterling Shepard, he's like their gadget guy. I feel like in order to succeed in the NFL, you've got to have one of those guys. Like Curtis Samuel's that guy for the Panthers. And then you've got, obviously Debo is that guy for the Niners, and a guy like Sterling Shepard that you can just throw screen passes to and allow them to make plays on their own. That's super helpful, especially with a quarterback that can sometimes struggle to get into a rhythm like Danny Dimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think a less complicated offensive scheme might do Danny Dimes better. I don't know. I definitely feel like I mean Bruce Arians kind of came out and said this already, but he's trying to do too much out there. Right. I feel like that's what it is. Daniel Jones looks around the locker room and he sees a bunch of guys banged up, whatever, and he wants to win. Like he wants that more and you see it on the field, right? You the way he carries himself, the way he handles himself, even when they're down by 12. Or 15, 20, 30 points, whatever. The way he carries himself, it's like he wants to win. And so I just think that they just got to get through that concept of you don't have to get all the points, all the yards, all the completions, whatever, in one drive, in one pass. Yep. It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. It's a culmination of a lot of things, right? It's a buildup over time. And then, you finally get it. And I think,
big plays will come.
Big plays will come. Yeah. And so I think once that gets across, then he'll start playing well.
The thing with me, with him that keeps me hooked is he'll make a bad mistake or have a bad drive, but then he'll come back and then just be right on point. And
yeah,
it's
exactly. Like
if you can be that guy, like 70-ish% of the time, 80, like you're gonna be solid.
Yeah, like what I think is like to his benefit compared to a lot of elite quarterbacks in the league right now, right? Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, all like 1,000% Aaron Rodgers. But, all those guys, like they go out there, they make a bad play, like when they come back out on the field, defensive stop, whatever, that last play is still in their head.
Oh, you think so?
Oh yeah. It's still in their head. It's still like you see it with Tom Brady against the Saints on Sunday. Like he made a couple bad plays, in the beginning. He had an interception, and then the rest of the game, his tone, his attitude, the way he interacted with not only his own teammates, but with the coaches, like all that built up. Like you could tell that was still festering in his head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To his credit, I've seen it happens with Drew Brees. Aaron Rodgers, if he throws more than one pick in a game, consider him out for the game because
he's not accustomed.
Yeah, he's not accustomed to it, and it still festers in his head. He can't get over it. Right. It happens to Matt Ryan too. And it's like, so a lot of those quarterbacks, like, they make a couple mistakes, they're not used to making those mistakes. So when they make those when they make those mistakes, they're kind of out of the game. Right. They've kind of mentally checked out until like something happens or something like that. And then they can finally like, okay, wait, yeah, let's get over it. Something, maybe a halftime break and then come back, mentally reset a little bit, something like that. But Daniel Jones, like that dude, I mean, like you see his interceptions, you see his turnover, his other turnovers. And it's like that guy, he comes back out the next play and the next time he's back on the field and he's fighting,
right.
He doesn't let it fester. He's like, all right, move on. Let's get this done.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
It's to his benefit.
Yeah. Speaking of New York, just kind of switch topics a little bit. Isn't NFL, but what would you think about Russell Westbrook being in New York, Nick?
I don't think New York would do well for him. I think the market there, because he's a guy that needs the ball in his hands. And I think his 1-year stint with the Rockets has kind of proved that he's not as effective without the ball in his hands. He can't be that off guy, so I think for, in the intermedium, if the Rockets are just trying to salary dump, sure. But I don't think it'd be effective. I don't think he would gel well in New York. They've got a lot of young talents. So I feel like it would just be him with the Thunder, like part two, when he was by himself with the Thunder and they just had a bunch of young talent, Steven Adams. And then I forgot who the other guy was, but those guys were like the, older people in the locker room. So I don't know. I just don't think. One thing that I did see is that a lot of reports are coming out that the Clippers and the Rockets are discussing not straight up, but a trade for Paul George for Russell Westbrook, like just flipping them to. Apparently Robert Covington and Pat Beverly and a couple other people are also potentially going to be involved in that trade. So,
you know about that, Jonah?
No, I don't think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just read it off, just scrolling through Instagram. So I don't know. I think the Clippers have been wanting a point guard. They've been wanting someone to kind of carry when, like Kawhi or like Paul George kind of stepped off the court. They thought they kind of had that with Lou Wills, and I still think they do, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if that goes through.
Facts. Okay. So do you have a game that interests you want to talk about? I highlighted Bucs, Panthers, Bills, Cardinals, Bengals, Steelers, and then also we're going to have to talk about the Niners, Saints, because that's an interesting one. Which one? Do you care?
I don't care. It's all good.
We'll go. Let's go. Is Tom Brady going to bounce back, bro? Obviously, I think he is, but it's going to be a really tough matchup. What are your thoughts?
I 100%. He's going to bounce back. I mean, the Panthers, like they put up a good fight against the Chiefs.
Dude.
And I mean, like, was it like looking at that game, like you think it was just because like, you know, they were kind of in different divisions, just kind of different play style. But I mean, I think ultimately, like, Matt Rule, I think Matt Rule just kind of like inspired them. You know, a lot of people were kind of already giving, you know, like the Panthers like an out, like
right,
the worst team, they're expected to lose. And I think Matt Rule just kind of was like, yeah, everyone's saying that, but if you don't believe it, or if you believe it, you know, get out of my locker room. He was at that mentality, right? Where he was like, hey, if you don't believe we have a shot to win this game, get out of here. I don't want you in here.
Yeah.
And I think that just carried over. And
they've got too many weapons to not compete, though.
Yeah, well, but yeah, even in spite of that, you know, they were getting Christian McCaffrey back, and still people were saying like, "Oh no, bro, this is going to be a blowout," right? A lot of people were saying that.
Hey, I feel like that's how. To talk about Thursday Night Football for a second, I feel like a lot of people, kind of not scapegoat, but I feel like people are too quick to judge the Colts based off who's playing starting quarterback for them. Like Sheridan says it almost every single week. He doesn't think Philip Rivers is the guy, but I mean, time and time again, I mean, they play good and they put up points and they put up a lot of yards and they have a decently deep backfield when Marlon Mack's back, Jonathan Taylor, and then Wilkins and Naheem Hines, bro.
Yeah.
He's kind of a stud.
Yeah.
I mean, when everybody's healthy, they're going to have a deep running back room.
I think so. I mean, how much of the Colts Titans game can you attribute to Philip Rivers and, you know, like the offense that they have? Or do you attribute that to a special teams victory? I mean, like they had two botched punts, you know, both of them were covered, you know, and they were pretty much like right at the goal line. For the Colts to capitalize on that, like that's phenomenal, especially against a team like the Titans. It's like those are the opportunities you absolutely need to get. You know, those are the opportunities that you absolutely need to score on, because if you don't, then the Titans at that point, I think we're in the lead, you know, by like 3 or something like that. And at that point, you know, the Titans game is to run up the lead and then just run the game out, right? So.
Yeah, because those are Derrick Henry not even really in the game when they're trying to get back in, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you want Ryan Tannehill to throw less than like 20 times a game in order to like win or something like that. I forgot what the stat was, but
I like the Colts. That's all I'm trying to say. Colts are kind of good. Yeah.
No, I like the Colts. I thought the game against the Ravens was a lot closer than I think the box score kind of said. I think the Ravens scored like almost.
They had defense touchdown too.
Yeah, they had defensive touchdown, but I think it was a really tight game until like 9 minutes left in the fourth, when the Ravens just kind of took over on a couple missed calls, something like that.
Yeah.
So I think the Colts can definitely compete.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Joe, who's taking the Bucs Panthers game, bro?
I'll go with the Buccaneers. As glad as I am to see Christian McCaffrey back on the field, I think Tampa Bay wins here.
I think McCaffrey's out this game. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, he hurt his shoulder. He's going to be out for 1 week, I think.
He's out again? Okay.
Yeah.
Then
they were saying possibly longer too.
Yeah.
But he got a second opinion. He was like,
Jeremy Chin's questionable.
Oh, that sucks. So I'll go Tampa Bay 35-11. I don't really think it'll be close.
Ooh, okay, wow. Jonah. All right.
Interesting.
35-11.
Okay, I'm interested to see Darsh, what do you think the score is going to be?
So I'm also going to go Bucs. I'm going to go 24-28. I think it's going to be a closer game because it's a divisional game. Even if they don't have McCaffrey, I think Mike Davis, the Bucs run game is pretty good, or Bucs run defense is pretty good. But I think if they continue to utilize Mike Davis how they were utilizing him prior to Christian McCaffrey's return, I think this is going to be a lot closer game, especially if Robbie Anderson's fully healthy.
I think that the Panthers are going to take this dub.
Oh, all right.
I just like too many of their offensive weapons. And Mike Davis, I mean, how much of a drop-off is that? Not a lot. You know what I mean?
Dependable.
Obviously, it's a little.
Okay.
I gotta take back what I said there.
Okay, all right.
I take back what I said there a little bit, but I mean, Mike Davis, he's not bad. He's not a bad running back. Not
All right.
not CMC though.
How? Bro, I can't believe that actually. Oh man, that's gonna be clipped.
Yeah. How much of a dropout was that? A lot. It's actually a lot. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Panthers on this. Too many good weapons, man. And the Bucs, who knows how they're gonna react? They're supposed to be one of the best teams in the NFC, and they didn't score a single touchdown. That's got to be a tough pill to swallow, especially for the GOAT.
Yeah, straight up. They have that. They have so many pieces on offense, and they didn't score a single touchdown against the Saints.
Yeah, I know. The Bears put up like 24 against the Saints, almost won.
Yeah, and they have the worst offense in the league.
They've got Nick Foles.
Nick Foles, but they've got the worst offense in the league.
I know.
But I mean, like the Bears did beat the Bucs, so
they did, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Muy interesante. Yeah, that's true. Facts. Dude, this whole entire season's just like a clusterfuck. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird. I saw a full picture, a full circle of the NFC. Like, everybody's beat like everybody. Like, if you know what I mean. There's like teams that have beat other teams that have like beat everybody else. It's so weird. It's an odd thing.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, now another interesting game. Bills Cardinals. This game could run up the.
Yo, talk about a game.
Wait.
That what?
Key injuries. Micah Hyde questionable. Tre'Davious White is playing, which is massive to match up with DeAndre, and also Cards, Buda Baker questionable. Don't know. Kenyon Drake game time decision most likely. So I don't know if those play a factor in who you're gonna pick. But
talk about a game from last week that I think shocked a lot of people with the Bills completely blowing out,
obliterating.
Completely obliterating the Seahawks, and the Seahawks like started to score points in like the fourth quarter in garbage time. So it was just like wow. Like I think everyone was expecting a close game, and then like the Bills just came out there and just destroyed them, just completely blew them out of the water. So I think I'm gonna ride with the Bills on this one. I think Kyler Murray is basically baby Russ, and I think the schemes.
He's Russ 2.0.
Yeah, I think the schemes.
It's very interesting.
I think the Bills match up very well defensively.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be straight up honest and say that I'm genuinely surprised that the Bills had that type of performance.
Yeah,
because they had a tough outing against the Jets, correct?
Yeah,
and they obviously lost.
Divisional matchup, by the way.
Yeah, they obviously lost to. I got to put that on a shirt, bro. And they obviously lost to the Chiefs. And they weren't looking too sexy, but they kind of changed my mind. And Josh Allen, stud.
Okay, like if you had to rank up your Super Bowl contenders based off that game, where would you guys put the Bills? Like 100% Super Bowl contender, or like
if they put
on
like
the verge?
that? What do you mean? Like top 3, top 5?
Top 3, top 5. Yeah,
I'm going top.
How many teams in the AFC would you put above the Bills, realistically?
Ravens, Chiefs. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't think the Titans are the same team.
Jonah?
I would probably only put the Chiefs.
You think that they can get past the Ravens with that defense?
I'm with Jonah. The way the Ravens have been playing this year,
but the Ravens defense is the thing.
Yeah, the Ravens defense is fine.
Oh wait, shoot! What am I talking about? I'm going top. I don't think. Shoot, dude, this hot take, bro.
Yeah, I think the Bills are
Steelers. Bills are Steelers, though.
No, I go Bills 2, Chiefs 1.
Okay, you're going Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, or Steelers.
I'm gonna go Steelers and then the Ravens.
Interesting. I think primetime Steelers Ravens. I think Lamar's going to get the better of them. I don't know. That's interesting right there because there's lots of good AFC teams, but it depends. If the Bills like they played in the past prior to that Seahawks game, I don't know if I'm ranking them that high. That's the thing. I thought they're on their way out. I thought the Niners, I'm like, man, maybe the Bills they might not be as hard of a matchup as I think, or I thought they were going to be. But after that Seahawks game, kind of changed my mind. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said earlier in the podcast, I don't know how 100% I'm sold on the Steelers, but they played well against Lamar, but also then again, Lamar, he gives teams opportunities. You know what I mean? Just with poor decision making. But yeah, I'm definitely going to go with the Bills on this one. And then Jonah, did you say who you're going to pick?
No, I think I'll go with the Bills as well, just because of like what Darsh was saying, a lot of similarities after they disposed of the Seahawks last week. Another NFC West team, another mobile quarterback. I just think they've got the formula down.
Facts. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think this is going to be like a
Hyde,
35-42 kind of game.
Did Micah Hyde play against the Seahawks?
I don't know.
But yet again, another former Packer defensive player that's just absolutely shining somewhere else.
Fact. I was so sad when I saw Tre'Davious White leave the game with an injury. I was like, that's massive. But I'm happy to see he's back because he's one of the best cornerbacks in the game, obviously.
100%.
But yeah. Okay, so Chargers Dolphins. Jonah, you want to start us off with the Chargers Dolphins? Are you going to go with your boy Justin, or are you going to go with your favorite NFL team?
I'm going to go with my favorite NFL team over my favorite NFL quarterback because as much as I love Justin Herbert, there are very few quarterbacks in the NFL that have been able to figure out Miami's defense, and I don't think Justin's going to be the next one. So
all right.
I think Justin shreds them.
Miami 21-10.
All right. Oh, interesting.
Okay.
You're only giving Herbie one touchdown?
Only one, yeah.
Wow. Darsh?
I think this game rides a little bit differently for Tua and the Dolphins. I'm rocking with the Chargers on this one just because, dude, it's so heartbreaking because they play so well and then they lose right at the last minute.
Well,
but I think this time, fortune favors the other way, or it goes in their favor. And
fortune goes the other way once again.
No, I'm picking the Chargers on this one. I think it's definitely going to be a tight game, though. I think it's going to be 30-27.
Facts, dude.
Justin Herbert's been playing really well.
I'm going with the Jonah's going Dolphins, and we're both going Chargers, bro. I think that they've just got to get a dub eventually.
They do.
You know what they've got. Like, it's so embarrassing. Yeah, I think I read a stat that they've had like 16 plus point leads in their all of their games that Justin Herbert's been a starter, and they've lost like all of them. For the most part. I forgot what
the point differential was for all of their losses. I think it was like
they've got to be plus.
It's I think it's like 19 or something like that. So out of all of their losses, they've only lost by a total of 19 points. And I think the Jets have lost multiple games by more than 19 or something. I think that was a stat. I don't remember off the top of my head, but
dang. Yeah, dude, I don't know. All right. Potential trap game. Taking the O from the Steelers. I think Joe Burrow could potentially take that 0 away from the Steelers, dude. I don't know. What do you think?
Jonah?
Anybody at all.
Oh, okay.
I'll go. I disagree. I think the Steelers are going to be able to hold off the Bengals this week. Although I do think Joe Burrow can get the ball in the end zone a few times. Also for 35-24.
Oh, that's actually a good score. Yeah, because I don't really know how good the Bengals defense is, huh? But yeah.
Well, so I'm just looking it up. Looks like the Bengals are going to be without Geno Atkins, Darius Phillips, and LaShawn Sims. I don't know who LaShawn Sims is or Darius Phillips, but I know Geno Atkins. And
Difference.
I just think I'm riding high on the Bengals, honestly, on this one. I'm buying high into them, or I'm buying low into them. I don't know. But basically, I'm all in on the Bengals against the Steelers. I just don't think the Steelers are quite the team that we think that they are, because they barely won against the Eagles, and we know how bad the Eagles are, and they barely won against the Broncos, and they needed some late game heroics and a couple turnovers in order to take down the Cowboys, and they have a worse quarterback situation than any other team in the league. So I'm picking the Bengals on this one.
Facts, dude. That's
and I think my bold prediction for this week is going to be Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow easily goes 350 plus, 5 touchdowns. Yep.
Dang. Yeah, that's a boldy right there. 5 tutties. Dang. Yeah, they've got weapons though.
Yeah, they do. T. Higgins is finally coming on.
Yeah.
AJ Green is finally turning around, and
Don't
I think
they have,
Tyler
Auden
Boyd
Tate or something.
Huh?
Yeah, they have Boyd. Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler Boyd. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
dude.
I think Joe Mixon might be out though.
That's kind of tough. But I mean, they're probably going to be putting the ball in the air anyway. Dude,
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's a freaking stud.
I think his average is 40 throws a game, 40 attempts per game.
Yeah. Dude, Jared Goff was an interesting guy. I was thinking about starting him in fantasy because of the porous Seahawks secondary and the fact that they throw the ball a crap ton. Because how many times he throw it? I want to say Jared Goff threw the ball a crap ton against the Dolphins. Why do I want to say it's like upwards of?
Well, he threw like 4 picks in like the first half or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. But wait, where is it? What week was that? When they played? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, I was thinking about going Jared Goff, but I don't know. I'm just gonna stick with Daniel Dimes, dude, because he actually kind of shredded the Eagles' defense last time they played. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Bengals, they're another really good football team that I think is gonna. I think these teams. It's really odd. Like once teams get their guy, it's crazy how much they improve. You know what I mean? Once you get your franchise guy, because I definitely think this is going to be one of the better quarterback classes that we're going to see in a while. I don't know, because we obviously had this last one, because it's
100%.
crazy how much better guys are, or how much better teams are once they finally get their guy.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
I just think it was so. I mean, like you see how good Justin Herbert plays, and then to think that the Chargers were like. Chargers to start the season were like, yeah, we're gonna roll with Tyrod, and I mean, like, Tyrod Taylor, he's a good player, he's a good quarterback.
Fact.
He could hop in and pinch.
He's the unluckiest player in the league.
Oh, 100%. But I just think that the way that Justin Herbert has been playing, I just think it's hard to think that any other rookie quarterback could be playing better than him. So. But I'm still rolling with Joe Burrow against the Steelers.
Yeah.
So
we're taking a gamble there, especially with that defense of the Steelers. But yeah,
Minka Fitzpatrick, man.
Yeah. Hawks Rams, dude.
I'm gonna roll with the Hawks on this one. Russell Wilson got absolutely embarrassed by the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the Seahawks pass rush actually got to Josh Allen more than Russell. I just think that he's going to come out, absolutely just cooking. So I think this is a
cook.
I can't believe you trademarked that.
Yeah.
I was out of all the things that, he could like trademark, that was like one of the last things that I would think that he would actually do, because it was just kind of thrown together, kind of, I don't know. It felt like a just like a jab, a little bit. You know what I mean? It was just like, yeah, let him cook.
Yeah.
Just thrown together, whatever.
Jonah.
I'm gonna go with Los Angeles, and
Woo!
I do think
Same. I'm going with the Rams.
34-30.
Okay.
That's a good game. I like that, dude. I think that's completely possible. I don't know. Like the Seahawks, they've got a ton of weapons, but their freaking defense is trash. They played good against the Niners. I'll give them that much. But why can't they show up? Why do they? I don't know. It's something special though. When the Seahawks play the Niners, they turn it up a level, and the Niners seem to turn it down a level, and then the Seahawks turn it up. I don't know. Interesting, but yeah. And then so let's see here. We'll go with a couple of potential blowout games here. 49ers Saints.
Which way is this game blowing out, Kellen?
Usually I would tell you that the 49ers, we're going to have have at least a 3 touchdown, I don't know. But I think I could definitely see the Niners losing this 42-20 or 17.
This is so sad. This is so sad to hear.
But I have faith. I'm going with the Niners, dude. I can't not go against the 49ers. That will never happen in my lifetime because in my opinion, they're going to go 16-0 every single season. But I just don't know. I think we're going to be really good after our bye after this week. We're going to have Debo back. We're going to have Raheem back. And then,
isn't Debo back this week?
No. Oh. He probably could be, but things weren't looking promising, and there's no reason to risk it. But we're going to have Richie James. We're going to have Brandon Ayuk. We're going to have Jerick McKinnon. We signed Austin Walter, who actually seems promising. I think he went to Rice. Pretty decent. He's really fast, return kicks. I was he really caught my attention on one kickoff return. Because he seems like a really tough runner, and then JaMychal Hasty will probably get carries as well. But I think and then Tevin Coleman's obviously hurt again, dude. Tevin Coleman this season is like our D4. D4 is always injured.
Bro, he's like your worst signing.
I mean, Tevin Coleman, he popped off against the Carolina Panthers last year, though. Remember, he had 3 touchdowns. But, dude, I'm going to have to go with San Francisco 49ers. We're going to pull out a dub here. It's either going to be a close dub, one point win, or it's going to be a 3-score blowout for the Saints, dude. I don't know.
I feel like Robert Saleh has the Saints kind of locked in. It doesn't matter how many times they have Taysom Hill line up in 6 different positions. I think Robert Saleh kind of has the Saints offense figured out, and I think it's going to be a lot tighter of a game. But I'm still rolling with the Saints. I think did you just flip me off?
No. No, I had a cramp in my finger. I was
I'm rolling with the Saints on this one. It's going to be, I'm going to go 31-24.
All right. Yeah. Hopefully hopefully the best defensive back in on our team actually touches the field this game. That'd be phenomenal, right? Tarvarius Moore. That'd be absolutely great. And I think Richard Sherman could be back. I think he might be back. Can you look that up really fast?
Yeah.
I think Richard Sherman might be back, but Jaquiski Tartt's out for the season with turf toe. That's going to be a little tough to swallow, but Emmanuel Mosley, Jason Verrett, Richard Sherman, Fred Warner. We have no pass rush whatsoever. It must be really nice for Eric Armstead to get his massive game check after not recording a statistic against the Green Bay Packers, but whatever.
Yeah, Bourne's back in.
Oh yeah, they reassessed everything, right? Yeah. And they brought him back.
Yeah, because they looked into his mask use or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Just if it all just don't let Trent Taylor, River Craycraft. I think I saw them on the questionable list. Just don't let them touch the field. Give the ball to Richie James. He might not be able to withstand as many touches as other guys, but just get him the ball. He's a freaking playmaker. Get Brandon Ayuk
And
the
Richard
ball.
Sherman's out too.
Okay. Get Brandon Ayuk the ball. Like, he is our only deep vertical threat that manages to get open, like down the field, and then can
I like
contest.
Brandon Ayuk this year, bro.
He's an absolute savage.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be an issue after our bye week, dude. I'm telling you. Hopefully, once
hope you guys-
once our run
I
game
hope
gets back in business, we're gonna be tough to stop. If just don't abuse Raheem Mostert, dude.
Yeah, I hope you guys like shake up some standings out there. I mean, you guys have the opportunity to go up against the Bills and well, obviously the Seahawks again, but I think you could definitely shake some things up for the Giants out east by taking down the Washington football team too.
And we play the Cowboys too, don't we?
Yeah, Cowboys.
That'll be easy dubs. But yeah, Jonah, who do you think is going to take this dub? San Francisco 49ers or the New Orleans Saints?
I actually think this is a pretty competitive game in 2019 and 2020. I think the Saints.
Bro, you had me on that one.
and they're coming off a big win, so I'm going to keep going with Drew Brees and the Saints 35-20.
Yeah, that's a reasonable score that I can
Jonah,
see.
you're a savage.
I can see that happening for sure, dude. But hopefully it doesn't. I mean, San Francisco, they've got the pieces, they've got the tools. If they play well, they're going to compete with any team, no matter really what their roster circumstances look like. Also, Ross Dwelly needs to get incorporated more, but I think Nick Mullins knows that and try to get the ball to him. But if anything else, if it's just shit hits the fan, just give the ball to Ayuk and Jerick McKinnon and get me some freaking fantasy points, okay? That's all I care about. As long as, I don't know, if it gets down, just start checking it down to Jerick McKinnon. Let him work. Let him work, dude. Just give me some fantasy points. Okay, and now the Ravens.
Are you in a PPR league?
Huh? Yeah.
Are you in a PPR? Yeah, just check it down.
Yeah, check it down. Let him get some yards. Let's go home. Go to the bye week. I don't know. All right, Ravens Pats. This is going to be an absolute blowout. I'm going to go with the freaking Ravens on this one. It's going to be like 20. I'm going to go 27-6 Ravens. What are you going with? Do you see? I don't know. I think my bowl weekly prediction is that would it be fair to say that the Patriots aren't going to score a touchdown?
Yeah, that would be bold. I think.
Okay.
That would be very, very bold.
All right, I'm going to go Patriots do not score. Usually I wouldn't say that, but it gives me faith after watching, what was it, Sunday Night Football with
the Jet or Monday Night with the Jets?
No. The Jets. Joe Flacco. Let's go. Joe Flacco. Every time I type his name, Joe Flacco, it goes Joe Flaccid. Like it autocorrects Flacco to Flaccid every single time.
Oh my God.
It's hilarious. But Joe Flacco was looking sharp. Rashad Perryman, Denzel Mims or whatever. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Bro, he looked good, but he's definitely not their guy of the future. Sam Darnold's going to be the future quarterback of San Francisco 49ers. You heard it here first.
God, I hope so.
That would be fantastic as long as you say
no, bro, like the only reason why I want it is that Sam Darnold's a good quarterback. He's just with the Jets.
I don't want him
so
to
I
get
just
wasted
hope
away.
I hope that another team, like, you know,
I can see the Steelers
after this 10 years up, like I hope that another team picks him up and gives him like a legitimate shot. You know what I mean? So
yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna roll with the Ravens on this one. I think it's gonna be 27-19.
No,
yeah, I think
they're not going to score that many points. That Ravens defense is a stone brick wall, man.
I know. Thank God I have them in fantasy, but
Me too.
I just think this is going to be kind of interesting game because, you know, on the one hand, you have the new era Ravens offense, you know, with Lamar Jackson and, you know, his ability to improvise, you know, run, pass the ball as well as, you know, run and, you know, just kind of improvise and basically like put up points.
Right.
You know, it doesn't matter how points are put up, but he can put up points. He has a potential to. And with that offensive unit, like they should be just destroying teams, but for whatever reason, they're not. And I think on the other hand, you have kind of like an older school kind of offensive scheme. Cam Newton, I don't think he's quite being utilized as he should be.
Yeah,
I don't think Cam Newton's
shoulder surgery when he throws the football. It's like
it looks like he's playing injured. Like it looks like he's not fully healthy. And I think they're trying to fit like a new era type scheme on an older quarterback. And I just don't know. But I think Lamar Jackson and the Ravens definitely win this one.
You mean an old era scheme with the new era quarterback?
That's what I mean.
Okay. Yeah, I was confused there for a second because I'm like, Cam Newton's pretty versatile, you know?
Yeah. Old era scheme. Yeah. That's what I meant. Because Tom Brady, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You know what? Speaking of crazy throwing motions, Phillip Rivers, I don't know how he throws the football.
Oh my God.
But it's a thing of beauty. Dude, luckily he's 6'5" because he literally looks like Hunter Pence when he throws.
He throws the ball and it comes out like downwards.
Like the side of his hand.
Well,
he goes like
but but the trajectory of the ball is downwards. You know what I mean? Like
it's like it's going like that, dude.
Yeah, it's going down, but somehow it's going up. I don't understand it. Like
it defies the laws of physics.
It does. Like I've seen him throw a couple. Like he doesn't really throw a bunch of long bombs anymore. I don't think he has the arm strength for it, but I've seen him, hug up a couple 15-yarders, and like the moment they come out, they're already pointed downwards. It's almost like a punt a little bit.
Yeah,
he's the way that it's flipping. So
I love Phillip Rivers, dude.
Yeah,
he's kind of a pain to play against, but like watching him, and if you're rooting for that team, it's fun.
Yeah,
it's definitely fun.
He's super fun to watch because he like unlike other quarterbacks. Well, Matt Ryan is the exception, but I think a lot of other quarterbacks are just kind of like they don't really like try to nag at the defenses.
They don't want to make him mad, but Phillip Rivers.
They don't want to make, and he does. Phillip Rivers does not care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, bro. The fact that he has 9 children, he does not give a fuck. He's a beast, dude.
Yeah, the balls on that guy.
Yeah. Hey, Jonah.
Yeah.
Pats or Ravens?
I'm gonna go with the Ravens here, even though I've been disappointed with them this year. But
they're doing enough to win, though. You can't really knock them.
Enough to win, and that's all that matters. So I'm going to go Baltimore 27-15.
Yeah. Are you all concerned about Lamar Jackson's future in the NFL?
Not at all.
Yeah, I'm not concerned
either. Me neither. I'm not concerned at all. But
are some people concerned about it?
Well, I just think that the fact that teams are starting to figure it out and his numbers are down from last year, people could be questioning. Like how long his
I think that's attributed. I think that's attributed to offensive scheming more than Lamar Jackson himself.
Facts.
Because like there's only one playbook for the team, right? And it gets revised and updated week to week per opponent, or like certain offensive schemes are then installed for that week based off the opponent. But I mean, like when you've done something so effectively, and you did it so well last season where you were literally torching teams. Like you can't sit there and think in the offseason that other like defensive coaches aren't going to take a hard look at your film and figure out, all right, what are you doing?
That was the biggest question coming out of that last season is how are we going to contain Lamar to the point where we still have a chance to win, because he's obviously still going to get his no matter what. He still he has the potential to rush like 80, 90 yards a game, even 100. But can you make him, because I honestly think he's made awesome throws. I think he's a good passer, like straight up. But decision making at times is rough, but I really like him as quarterback, bro. He's a stud.
Yeah. No, I like him as quarterback. I just think that offensively during the offseason, John Harbaugh, and I don't know who their OC is, but I think
his name like Greg Roman or something.
Yeah, I think so. But I think that's on defense. I don't know.
Oh, it is.
It's I don't know. It's not really that important to it, because I think ultimately it falls on John Harbaugh, because the fact that in the offense or in the offseason you didn't take one look.
No, he's the offensive coordinator for the Ravens.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So still in the offseason, you didn't take one look at your offense and we're like, all right, we need to switch up this. We need to switch up our calls. We need to switch up our play or what we call our plays, our schemes, our formations, how are we bringing players into the rotation, those types of things where it's like, all right, let's set up the scheme to make it a little different from last time where, teams that are great defensively, that have those defensive coaches, that, those defensive minded players too, where it's like those all-time greats like Malcolm Jenkins, right? I know the Ravens and the Saints haven't played yet, but like those types of things where it's like you have to be able to develop plans to go against them in a way that it can't just be like, okay, 1 week in the film room and it's like they got you figured out.
Right. Yeah, dude, they need to get Marquise Brown incorporated more too.
They're just using him as a deep threat. Yeah, but I think he could definitely go toe to toe in the slot.
Guy easy. They just need to find a way to get him the ball.
Yeah, 100%.
There's times he's open, it's Lamar tucks it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So do you want to go through we only have a couple more games really fast. We'll go with fellow NFC North guys. Vikings Bears. Could end up being a close game, but with how Dalvin Cook's been freaking rolling. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with the Vikings on this one, just because of the fact that Dalvin Cook, it's hard to deny. Numbers speak for itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna go with the Vikings. Dalvin Cook. Kirk Cousins is liking it. He's getting that Jimmy G kind of role where you're just handing it off and letting him work. Yeah, who do you think is going to take this step, Darsh?
I think I picked the Bears. I picked the Bears against the Panther. No, I don't know who I picked the Bears against, but I picked the Bears recently, and I think they absolutely let me down. So for that reason alone, I'm picking the Vikings. And like you said, I think the strategy for the Vikings is literally to make sure, like, put everything on offense to this so that Kirk Cousins does not throw the ball more than 20 times this game. Like if he throws the ball more than 20 times, that means you failed. All right. Because that guy, he's going to get absolutely chewed out alive by that Bears defense. I'm still high on the
unless
Bears
it
defense.
Screen passes to Dalvin, then it's okay.
Then it's okay. If the pass isn't to Justin Jefferson
or Adam,
I think Adam's gonna be covered for a majority of this game.
Yeah.
But so if the pass isn't to Justin Jefferson, then it should be an immediate check down to Dalvin Cook. I don't care what it is, but that's the strategy for the Vikings in a nutshell.
Yeah, I agree. Just feed Dalvin, but don't hurt him. He's
already been
the heart
injured
and
enough.
soul of that team for sure. But so
reminds me from a couple of years ago when the Vikings were they were just handing it off to Adrian Peterson, and he went off for like 2,000 yards that season, something like that, and he almost broke the record. Yeah.
All right, Texans Browns. I think the Texans are going to light up the scoreboard. Their offense is looking kind of nice. Brandon Cooks looking good. Another fellow OSU alum. I like Brandon Cooks a lot.
Wait, who did you say that they were playing?
The Cleveland Browns.
Jonah?
Okay, I'll go with the Texans. Like Colin was saying, their offense, I think, gets it done. And then for the game before, I'll go with the Vikings because I've been liking Dalvin Cook, and the Bears have seemed to be running out of steam for the past couple of weeks.
Facts. Sorry, Jonah, I forgot.
Yeah, that's facts.
No problem.
Sorry.
That Bears offense is just absolutely god awful. So
their defense is kind of nice at times.
Yeah. No, they're very opportunistic for sure. So I'm gonna pick, dude. I want to pick the Browns. I really want to pick the Browns. I think the Browns. I know Odell's out, but I think the Browns were really starting to figure things out with on the offensive side of things. But I think I'm gonna go with I think I'm going to go with the Texans on this one.
Oh.
I think it's going to be a super tight game. It's going to be like 23-24.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see that. And then Jonah, you already said you're going to Texans, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going Texans.
Okay, and then really fast, Washington versus the Lions. I don't know who's going to win this game. This is a toss-up to me, honestly. Jonah,
Yeah,
you wanna go on?
I'll take the Lions in this one.
Okay. Even without Kenny Galladay?
Yeah, I still like him.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to go with Washington football team just because I like Antonio Gibson and I like Terry. And J.D. McKissick's good too. So if that offense can keep it, keeps some or put some points on the board, I think they've always got a shot. Darsh, what do you think?
I think Alex Smith is Washington's starter going forward until Kyle Allen returns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if he returns. Yeah. So, dude, as much as I like Alex Smith, like making a comeback the way he has, I think I'm going to roll with. I'm going to roll with the Lions on this one. I just think that they have the better defense, and offensively, even with Kenny Galladay out, they still have Marvin Jones. They still have Danny Amendola. And I think they're starting to figure it out with DeAndre Swift on how to utilize him, especially since their bye week and they've actually learned like, oh wait, I can just check it down to DeAndre Swift. I don't need to have him run 30, 40 yards down the field before I throw it to him.
Thanks.
So I think they figured that out. So I'm going to roll with the Lions on this one. I think it's going to be kind of 27-21.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I think that I just don't know if Alex Smith can get her done, but I'm just going to go with them just because I really like Antonio Gibson, dude, and Terry McLaurin. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just really like those players. And I think what's up?
Where do you think Dwayne Haskins lands after this season? Do you think Washington keeps him or they move on?
I really like Allen. So, I mean, you got to go with Kyle Allen. But I think that maybe I don't know. I really, to be perfectly honest, I haven't seen enough of Dwayne Haskins to really judge him, but I just don't know where he'd be a good fit, to be perfectly honest. I don't know. Because I don't know if when he goes somewhere, I don't know if he'll get an opportunity to be a starter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you
Jonah?
think?
What's that?
Where do you think Dwayne Haskins ends up after this year?
That's a good question. To be honest, I haven't watched very many Dwayne Haskins games this year, so I wouldn't be the best guy to ask that, but I don't know. I liked him when he played for Ohio State.
Facts. Beast. Yes, he's a stud. But yeah, I have honestly no idea. Do you have a landing spot in mind, Darsh?
Dude, for some reason I keep wanting to say the Bucs, and I feel like he's just going to be a backup there for a little bit until Tom Brady retires, and then I could see him taking over because the talent's obviously there. Like right. you see how he plays. The talent's obviously there. It's just maturity issues, and I think any team with a veteran quarterback in the league right now is going to be looking at him as, kind of like one of those project players, like one of those guys that you're going to sit behind a veteran quarterback that has those leadership skills, that has that, kind of control over that locker room, and just to see, just to have him see that and develop and like learn those types of skills and learn, just kind of develop that maturity to be able to handle that locker room, handle the offensive scheme, handle, what it is to be a franchise QB. So I definitely see like the Bucs being a team that takes him.
I can see it too.
Yeah.
Cause he kind of has similar skill set to Jameis. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Final game. Broncos, Raiders. I think that the Raiders are probably going to take this dub, but who knows? Josh Jacobs is a beast. Is he healthy? He's healthy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's healthy. I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs on this one, dude. I really like the Raiders. I don't know. They're a decent football team. They're coming around. Derek Carr's been playing he's been playing really good. It's been impressive. Darren Waller's an absolute stud too. That's facts.
Yeah, he's like top 3 tight end this year.
Yeah,
and that's including Kittle's injury.
Yeah.
That's wild.
He's a beast. Yeah, I really like the Raiders on this. Who you got, Darsh?
I'm gonna roll with the Raiders on this. They have the more complete offense comparatively. Although Drew Lock's been kind of cooking lately.
Yeah, Drew Lock is good, but Jerry Jeudy I think's hurt or questionable.
Yeah. So Raiders more complete offense. Defensively, I think the Broncos have the edge on that, but I think ultimately it's going to be a slugfest, and I think it's going to come down to like 21-20.
Why is it
something
going to
like
be
that.
a slugfest?
because a divisional matchup.
Yeah, let's go. All right, Jonah.
Yeah, I'll make it a clean sweep and take the Raiders as well.
Right on. Awesome. That wraps up the games, boys. There wasn't really any headlines. I mean, besides
Well, did you guys hear what DeAndre Hopkins was saying?
what did he say?
He thinks, or not he thinks, he says that if a wide receiver gets penalty yardage from a pass interference call, it should count towards his yardage, like towards the receiver's yardage.
Look, if he gets PI, that's 15 yards for him.
Yeah, because the reason why this was asked or why it was brought up was because he had like three receptions for like 29 yards, but he was called in favor of for like 4 pass interference calls and then a couple other holding calls or whatever, and that ended up netting them almost like 90 additional yards or something like that. So in total, even though on the stat sheet it showed up as him only doing 3 receptions for like 29 yards, it would have been like 9 receptions for like 92 yards or something.
But why does he even care about that? Is my question. Why do you even care? You lost the game. Like, it doesn't matter how many yards you got.
Well, he was just saying that in terms of like, yeah, it looks on paper, it looks like I did nothing.
But
if
who
you saw
cares
me out there,
though?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he cares, but it's like,
Yeah.
why does it even matter though? I mean, I can definitely see where he's coming from. It's definitely frustrating if teams are because, like, honestly, I feel like a lot of teams do that when you have mismatches. You're going to get a bunch of PI penalties because you don't want to give up a big play. It's like PI is better than a touchdown at times, but at the same time, when it's I don't know.
No, I get where you're coming from. Where like, why does he care if it shows up on the stat sheet or not? All he should be concerned about is whether they got the dub or not, right? Like, yeah. I get that for sure. But I mean, fantasy value, all right?
Yeah.
I don't even have DeAndre Hopkins, but penalty yardage definitely takes away from fantasy output. So
that's just the name of the game, though. Sometimes you boom, sometimes you bust. It's whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
but yeah, that would be really interesting if they did that. They should. Yeah, another thing that's a little sketchy is little touch passes and screen passes when they pop off like 80 yards and then that's 80 yards for the quarterback. It's like nothing of that. You threw the ball like 5 yards or even like 6 inches sometimes, and then you get the credit for that. But yeah, thank you guys for doing this though. This was cool. Thank you guys. Sorry,
this was a lot of fun, man.
Sorry, Jared and Sheridan couldn't come, but I like going back at it with Jonah and Darsh, bro. I'm sorry, Jonah, that you felt. I don't know. You contribute as best as you can.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I feel bad though, because I feel like I don't know.
No, I shared all the football knowledge I had. I left it all out on the podcast tonight. So
you left it all on the field.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I'm gonna go watch Mando. Did you watch it yet, Darsh?
No, dude, I still haven't seen season 1. So.
Oh no way.
Yeah, no, I just never got around to it.
You're way behind, my guy.
Yeah, but
Jonah,
I know it's popping up. It's on my list.
Yes. Jonah, do you watch Mando?
no, I don't know what it is.
Mandalorian? Are you a Star Wars guy?
No.
He's just NBA guy. Jonah's going to be the future NBA. He's going to be the future GM of the Portland Trail Blazers. That's a fact.
Oh, take over for Neil Oshley.
And wait, wasn't there the first ever woman got signed? Isn't she the manager for the who now? The Marlins?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember her name, but shout out to that. That's epic. But also another thing, I didn't realize that. I mean, I remember them talking about it, but when you hire like someone of like color for like the NFL, you get like a 3rd round draft pick or something.
No. It was up for.
It's up for debate.
Yeah. It was up. Like they were going to vote on it whether or not they should. So like a team like the Steelers, because they hired Mike Tomlinson, they would be given like a conditional.
What do you think about
conditional pick?
To me, it's a little bit cheesy, a little bit corny, because you want people that are actually qualified for the position. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not like still want people that are. I don't know. You don't want to just hire people just because you're going to get benefits from it.
Yeah. No, 100%.
But obviously, if there's someone that is worthy of the opportunity, there should be no discrimination towards whether they should like hire them or not.
I think what they're trying to attack, or not attack, but I think what they're trying to get after is that not enough teams are interviewing diverse candidates. They're
not enough people are getting a shot is the problem.
Well, yeah, not enough people getting the shot, but they're just not interviewing, or they're not really even considering, like diverse backgrounds, diverse, candidates, right? Like, like black coaches, Asian coaches, whatever. I don't even know if there are Asian coaches.
Head coach?
I don't think so.
I don't remember. I can't name one off the top of my head. Jonah,
like those are the examples, right?
Yeah. Jonah,
So
is there Asian coaches in the NBA?
No.
What is Spoelstra Filipino?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Some kind of Hispanic.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, well, thank you guys so much for doing this. This was fun. Hopefully we get more people.
This was a lot of fun, man.
Next week. And we're going to be doing, if you want to hop on, me, Jonah, and Shannon are going to be doing like an NBA mock draft on Monday. So if you want to do that, you are more than welcome to join.
So I'm gonna be honest, I haven't watched anything about the draft. So
okay.
All I know is like LaMelo Ball, Anthony Wiseman, or is it Anthony Edwards?
Anthony Edwards, James Wiseman, yes.
James Wiseman. Those are the three people I know. That's it.
I'm slowly but surely getting better at it, but
yeah,
Jonah's definitely the
I don't think I could add too much. But free agency. All right. I'm on for free agency. Whenever, like, let me know.
I think we're doing that one on Thursday, so I'll have you on for sure.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for doing this. It'll be up later tomorrow. All right. It was always good seeing you, Darsh, and always
a pleasure, bro.
All right.
Likewise.
Bye-bye.
Bye.